It's time to create an advanced UGV robot with pick-upping object by mechanical arm in our simulator. Okay, in the previous clip, we talked about the triggers and how we can use it in making the behavior or actions in our simulator. At this clip, we want to talk how we can use it in making the behavior for UGV. Okay, I want to show you a mechanical arm for my UGV. I've downloaded from Google SketchUp 3D Warehouse website and I added it to the scene. After that, I made two empty objects as an arm pivot. I put the empty object in here for using something like this, and the body in here for these static objects. So the mechanical arms will rotate something like this, and the arm pivot can rotate something like this. Okay, after that we want to do some actions with this mechanical arm. Okay, now I want to put this beautiful arm on my UGV. Something here. Beautiful. Okay, I think it is in a good position. So I put the mechanical arm as a child of UGV. Now, once I play the game, I can see the mechanical arm something like this. Perfect. Now let's create a mechanism for moving this mechanical arm. I say in the UGV movement, or even another script, say UGV arm. Okay, we add this script to UGV. UGV arm on this one. Perfect. Now let's open it. In the UGV arm, initially we have to define two parameters. First, public game object arm. Then public game object arm pivot. We say mechanical arm and arm pivot. Okay, now I want to make a simple system for moving the for only rotating, not moving, excuse me. Rotate the mechanical arm only in Y angle, not Z and X, and rotate only the arm pivot in X angle, not other angles. So it is very easy. we can say, but I want to rotate them with the second arrow of the arrows of the keyboard, right, up, left, and down. So we say if input dot get k code dot for example, we want to make a simple rotate to left and right for mechanical arm, so right arrow. Perfect. And we say mechanical arrow dot transform dot rotate in the angle x 0 and z 0 and in the y. Let's to define a parameter for here, public float mechanical arm rotation. So we will put the speed of our rotation in here, and also we will copy this part and change it to the left arrow and add a minus. Okay, let's go to the UGV, and in here we have mechanical arm here and arm pivot in here, and speed of rotation will be 0.5, for example. Let's do test. Beautiful, it works well. 2. Okay, the arrows are correct. So let's to make the mechanism of arm pivot. We say arm pivot rotation. Okay, and we create a copy of it and paste. We say up and arm pivot. And change the game object of it to arm pivot. Okay, and in here I want to make the down and add a minus. Let's to test. Perfect. In here we can put 0.5. All right. Oh no, I need to change the minus of it. It's perfect. The minus must be for up. Now let's test. Ah, beautiful. In the automatic movement system, we can rotate it as well. If I maximize the camera, we can do something. Okay, now I want to do something cool. I want to grab an object. For example, I want to remove this red zone and add a sphere into our scene in here, for example. Okay, and set 0, 0, 0. We call pickup object. And change the sphere collider to is trigger. Okay, and in here we can create a script. It's called pick up object. Okay, we wait for the compiling the script. Pick up object in here. Perfect. Now open it. We can copy and paste the is trigger in from here for increase our speed, but we don't need to them. Only thing is I want to define a very useful method. I want to add a collider to here, and this collider once entered to the trigger of a sphere, it can be pickable by our arm. I don't want to use the rigid body and collider of the UGV. I want to add a collider here. So I will create a cylinder, for example, and I put it in here and change the rotation, decrease the size, something like this, and put it here, here, then increase it. We can increase the size as well. It doesn't matter because we want to remove the mesh renderer. We need to have only the collider of here, and we say arm nose. Then the important part is here. We have to put the arm nose as a child of arm pivot. So once we rotate our arm, and this trigger has been joined to our arm, then we can do something cool. In the tag list, we call arm nose and save. Then copy this tag, exactly the same name, arm nose, arm nose. Okay. And here we change the tag of it to the arm nose. Perfect. And Control S for saving. We're waiting for the compiling our script and process of the saving. Okay, now let's come back to the pickup object. We say if that object entered to the trigger, tag is arm nose, set the transform dot parent. No, not yet. We will say public boolean ready for, oh my god, pickup equal false. If the arm nose in here enter to the trigger, will be true. If we exit and that nose exit from the trigger, once again come back to the false. Now in the void update we will say if the ready for pickup equal true, not always, only in this time. Another if input dot get button down, get k down k code dot space. We can once our arm nose enter to the trigger, so it is ready for pickup. How we can pick up it? We can say set the parent of this object as this one. So we want to set the pickup object as a child of arm nose. We will say transform dot parent equal, in here we need to define another one, public game object I don't know, nose, something like this. Okay, in here we will say arm will be equal the other dot game object. No, I need to copy in here as well. And in here, when we exit from the trigger, we will say null. Nose will be null. So we don't need to have this parameter with the variable. So we will say once enter to the trigger, set the nose as a other object with the tag of arm nose. When we exit from the trigger, nose will be null. So the transform.parent of this sphere or pickup object will be equal with nose.transform. Let's do test. Initially, we need to add our script pickup object to the in here pickup object. It's already has it. Another important point is we need to add arm nose rigid body, but it's kinematic. We don't need to have gravity for this one because we need to stay to keep this trigger and this collider here. We don't want to fall down. Okay, let's do test. Go here, F2. Oh, we cannot see. That's F2 and something. Let this, I need to go forward, no, backward. Okay, and a little bit down and go forward, no, backward. Okay, I pressed. Now the sphere is a child of our nose. Perfect. Beautiful. I could to pick up this object. Okay, let's to make a system for release this object. Once we press button for example, I don't know, R was for reset the position and rotation, space for pick up, and we say I don't know, enter, or no, something H. Okay, we say transform.parent equal null. Let's come back to the editor and try to test it again. Okay, go here, here, and now calm down, my friend. Now I can pick up, come here, and press H. That's it. Mission is complete. Because our sphere doesn't have any rigid body, so it is still on air, we can add rigid body to this object. But we need to manage the rigid body once we want to pick up. Okay, let's to add rigid body to our sphere with this method. Rigid body in here, and for example, yeah, it is perfect. And in here we can say public rigid body, we call it rigid. Once we want to grab it, the rigid, the schematic will be true. And once we want to release it, rigid body schematic will be false. Okay. I think in the first moment it's falling down with the high fast speed. Let's test. Oh no, look at this. Yeah, I knew that. Okay, something like this, but it's moving. Oh, it doesn't have trigger. Oh, I know, I see, because I said it is trigger, so it's going down. If you want to make it something like this, you can add another collider to it with, I don't know, something like another sphere collider, but it is not its trigger. Let's to check it. Perfect. Beautiful. Now I can, oh my god, please. Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. I have to add this rigid body to the script. My code had a mistake. It says, please set the variable of the rigid body. Okay, now let's test. Come on. Oh, it's difficult. Okay, beautiful. I could grab it finally. And let's release H. Perfect, perfect. All right. As a final step of our mission, we can create another camera for our nose view. For example, we can add a camera here, and we say nose cam, and we put it in here in a arm nose position. In this position, but with this angle, something like this. Okay, and in here we can say in the UGV movement, we can say overall cam and also nose cam. Okay, and if we press no, this one, yes, it's perfect. If we press F4, for example, we have our nose cam. Let's set the variable of nose cam in here as a game object false, and it is the same for this one and this one, and in here we can say true equal false, false equal false. Okay, I think right now we will have our nose camera. Let's go to the UGV and UGV movement. In here we have nose cam. Okay, and set it in here, and let's turn off it. Okay, let's test and press F4. Perfect. Now we can better see the final. Oh my god. Oh, I could grab it. Perfect. Okay, now press H to release an object. Perfect. Let's go to the next step.